My name is Rashawn Ferry. I am your grant officer for the ATE program, so I awarded each and every one of you in here. So congratulations and welcome to the family. And I say it's a family or a team because we all work together. There's so many parts of this award that you guys have received that it's just not just the institution. There's so many people that are behind the scenes that want you to succeed. So I'm just one of the players on the team. So the things we'll talk about today, just a few things. The roles of the team. We're going to talk a little bit about time and effort reporting, participant support, consultants, and subrecipient monitoring. You guys are responsible for so many things. But your goal and your responsibility really lies in the actual purpose of the grant. What did you set in that proposal, and making sure that you're going to follow and adhere to all the rules and regulations as sponsored by the federal government or the sponsor agency. So you want to make sure, for one, please read your award letters. If you have any questions, any concerns, if there's something you don't understand in your award letter, by all means call me. That's why I'm here. That's what I do every day. And there's no such thing as a crazy question. I get them all. So by all means, call me. If there's something that you're just a little shaky, like I don't know if this is even allowed, by all means, give me a call. We can talk about it. And that's the beauty of being on this team. Dave can handle certain things with the programmatic side of things. I handle things on the budgetary side. And your Office of Sponsor Research Office, they are like my right-hand partners. Because what they tell you, usually 9 times out of 10, is correct. And what happens, grantees will say, well, I don't like that answer. I'm gonna call Rashawn. And usually what happens, I have to tell them, well, what did your sponsor research office say? Or what did your grant office say? And they said, well, they said it was unallowable. 9 times out of 10, it's unallowable. But I appreciate the go around, but it doesn't work. Okay, so the project directors, most time they adhere to all the ongoing process and the day-to-day management of your project. So whoever you have that's dealing with it, sometimes it's the PI, sometimes it's the project director. They deal with making sure that the grant is running smoothly at your home site. So make sure that you're keeping your books and everything orderly, because you want to make sure that if anything was to happen, if I say we're going to do a site visit, you have those documents ready for your Office of Sponsor Research Office, readily available, so we can discuss issues or concerns. Okay? All right. And the role of the PI. This is, everybody in here is PIs, correct? Correct? Yes. So this is what you're responsible for, just some of them. The responsibility of the scientific progress of the award. And the beauty of it is, I know a lot of PIs get very antsy about, I want my project to succeed, I can't make a mistake. That's not how NSF works. That's not what we are about. We honor the fact that you make mistakes. Grants are not perfect. And you have to learn through this process. If you had a hypothesis of something was going to work and it didn't, it's okay. That doesn't mean your grant is a failure. We learned something very valuable that we can use for future grantees. So it's, be very honest and candid about the progress that you're having in your awards, okay? Make sure you, like I said, follow the goals and objectives of your award. If something changes during the life of the award, that's okay as well. It happens. You might run into a situation where an evaluator is gone or a PI left, or things just happen, and it's just a part of the grant life. And the beauty of that is we do not penalize. We honor that system. So make sure if something is going wrong, contact us. Let us know what's going on before it gets out of hand. And we always say, ask early, ask often. Always, and that's what we're here for. So I'm going to keep saying that, ask early, ask often. So you'll hear that all the time, okay? And make sure you submit, like David said, make sure you submit all your progress reports and documents on time, okay? When I tell you that is one of the things that will stop any kind of progress, and it will stop maybe a change of PI. It may stop any kind of administrative request, and it also might stop the future funding. So, and then what you also must be aware is, saying you have a co-PI on your award. This co-PI has another award in another division. They're late on that progress report. But the fact that they're associated with yours, guess what? Your project is now delayed. So it's very important that everybody is aware that these annual reports, these progress reports are very vital to the success. More or less, it's very vital for you to get your money. So when you want your money, make sure you turn in your reports on time, okay? And this is one of the things when we go out on our site visits, and I'll be talking about that shortly, but we do site visits. We do over 30 site visits per year, and those site visits range from community colleges, top tier institutions, what have you, private industries, nonprofits, et cetera. And we go out to these institutions, and we stay almost around 5 days. And basically, it's not an audit, so please don't panic. And we let you know in advance that we're coming out. And we'll give you certain points that we're going to talk about. One of these will be like time and effort reporting. And basically, the point of this is to see how well you're running your actual grant. And if there's any problems while we're there, the point is we are here to help. So it's not a ding or, you know, it's in a bad light. So if you get a call from me and say, okay, we want to do a site visit, don't panic. It's okay. I've had some institutions I will not name because I don't know who's actually in the audience, that, you know, try to avoid doing the site visit. But what I tell them, eventually it will happen. Everyone will have a site visit, whether it's from me, programmatic, you'll have a site visit, and each one of them is different. But with time and effort reporting, this is basically one of the things that will get you dinged. And when I say dinged as an audit finding, is time and effort. Make sure that you are reporting your time and effort. And that is what the time allotted that you have placed on the award in the proposal and what you're actually doing. So you want to make sure that you're being accurate. And however you report it, that's up to the institution. NSF is not going to tell you exactly how you should do it. So we leave that up to the institutions to make that determination. Some are quarterly, some are bi-quarterly, however. But it's up to the institution to define how they're going to do their reporting, okay? And, oh, sorry, that was another slip up. But on the administrative staff, let me go back. Now I'm going to go back to the time and effort reporting. But the administrative staff, basically, they're there to help you in your whole process of this award. And they are vital. I mean, you really need to have a great rapport with your administrative support staff, your Office of Research staff, because they will help you. If there's something you don't understand, they are the first point of contact when it comes to something. Is this allowable? Does this seem reasonable? They know all the policies and procedures as it relates to the cost principles, and those are the principles in which the federal government aligns their business practices under. So use your staff appropriately. Use them, that's what they're there for, okay? Now back to time and effort. So the time and effort, you can choose any way you want. Some, like I said, are by academic periods, some are semesters or quarterly. And you want to make sure the effort that you're putting in is actually related to your function. So you don't want to say, oh, I worked 50%, but you only put 20% of effort. And it sounds simple, but you'll be amazed what we find, especially because this breaks down to dollars. And what I like to tell grantees, this is taxpayer dollars, and under the scrutiny the federal government is under by the public, they are looking for any reason to throw certain projects, certain communities into the spotlight. And sometimes that spotlight is not always the most positive spotlight. So I try to warn grantees to be very vigilant and very transparent with what they're doing, because somebody's watching. And we got actual extra money from the Office of Inspector General just to look at certain institutions, certain communities. And when that happens, they're looking, when the OIG gets involved, which is the Office of Inspector General, they are looking for criminal activities. When I look for things, I'm looking to assist. I'm not looking to send anyone to jail. That's not the goal. But if it gets to the OIG level, that means something has been, either it has been a whistleblown situation, some kind of activity of a criminal nature has been thrown to them to review or to investigate. And my goal as far as a grant specialist is to make sure if there's anything going on prior to that, we can fix it, get it right. So the last thing we want to be is on the front cover of the Washington Post, NSF award, that's just not a good situation. And we do not want that to happen, not only for you as a grantee, but us as a federal agency. So that's something just to keep in mind. And there's different ways, like I said earlier, we do not tell you exactly how you should be reporting your time and effort. There's something called like a plan confirmation, and basically that is based off the actual budget or the assigned work, okay? And then there's another one which is after the fact. So you're saying you did this work, and it's basically the opposite of the plan confirmation, so it's actually the actual opposite. But we don't tell you, like I said, we don't tell you exactly which one is better, which one do you prefer. If you ask anybody in NSF, we will not tell you that. That's really up to the institution to figure that out, and whichever makes most sense. And what usually happens is the institution uses that across the board. So they're not going to use, saying plan confirmation for one grant and after the fact for another. Whatever system they're using, they're going to use it across the board for the entire institution, okay? Certain things that it should contain your employee name, identification codes. The key one is hours of percentage charged to the grant. And when we go out on our site visits, those are the things we actually look for. We want to make sure that there is some kind of check and balance going on. So, we'll see a time and effort report and there's no signature, no date. Who signed for this? Because there's always, what the government is looking for is transparency. We're looking for, is there some kind of method? Do you have a methodology that you're following as far as your business going with these federal dollars? Is there policies and procedures in place as it relates to these certain key items, such as time and effort reporting, such as participant support, things of that nature? So you want to make sure that you guys are, for one, including all these items. And also, let me mention that this, I think you'll be able to send this presentation out. So don't panic, the slides will be available to you, okay?